Okay, let's make one thing very clear. Portrait mode shots are absolutely class on the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. I just feel like the edge detection and the style in almost all lighting conditions is nicer than Apple's. Doesn't this just look great? The iPhone has a sort of faintness to it that isn't doing it any favors. Now, Apple does get a slight boost when you take portraits using its main one-time zoom camera, since, as we talked about, every photo that comes out that camera will come out at a nice, crisp 24 megapixels. But then again, I think you'd be doing your portraits a disservice by taking them at 1x. Your subject is going to look way more proportionally correct if you instead shoot at 3x zoom or even 5x zoom and you take a few steps back. And in both of those cases, it's a Samsung win. I guess the other benefit of Samsung having two separate telephoto cameras. One thing I do have to flag though is Samsung's AI processing can get a bit carried away. It's like so involved in every photo now that it can even end up adding in skin texture that I swear doesn't even exist. And then finally, it's time to talk nighttime. So to get one thing out the way, the improvement on the S25 Ultra versus last year's S24 Ultra are pretty undeniable. Like for example, just look at the sky in this video here. Can you see how the old Samsung is a grainy mess and the new one is at least 50% smoother? Or if we take this photo, while the brightly lit areas look largely the same, all you have to do is to look around them to find that like every part of the rest of the image does look better now. But here's the issue. Let's pull up the iPhone now for comparison. It feels like the primary technique that the Samsung has been taught to combat its previous graininess is to smooth over it. And while it has absolutely gotten intelligent at doing that, and it can make lots of clips look better than they used to by doing it, it still can't compete with the iPhone like this, whose night videography comes out clean enough in the first place that it doesn't even need that smoothing. This difference means that in low light, while Samsung doesn't look like it's falling apart anymore, it just looks very soft. It's not capturing nearly to the same level of intricacy as Apple's footage. And for the most part, but to a lesser extent, that is true for photos too. Most photos taken in the dark, whether or not the specific night mode has activated, just look slightly muddier on the Samsung.